Hi YouTube, Watchify here with another video. In this one I'm going to explain why I'm not really going to do any more watch modifications, and I'll list the reasons why. Reason number one, and the main reason, is that I think it hurts resale value. If you're a collector who might eventually want to sell your watch, I've found that watches in their OEM state in good condition with box and papers fetch the highest price. Watches that have been modified are not as popular. I sort of already knew this, but it really came to light as I was looking for a pre-owned Seiko SKX013. There are plenty of modified ones available, but I'm not interested in those. When you modify your watch, you're changing it to match your particular taste. You might like a certain type of bezel insert, crystal, or handset that differs from what the watch originally came with. These changes or upgrades might not match up with what a buyer would like. Even the more minor and less obvious modifications, like changing out a Harlex crystal to a sapphire one, means that someone opened up the watch to do that, and now the water resistance integrity might be compromised. Same goes for a movement upgrade from a 7S26 to an NH36, for example. There is no way to know how professionally the work was done either. Reason number two is it's a bit costly. Mod parts can be pretty expensive depending on the item and where you're purchasing it from. Ceramic bezel inserts usually cost between $40 to $60. Sapphire crystals are around $40, chapter rings $20, replacement bezels are about $40, and crowns go for about $30. This is on top of what you paid for the watch, and is assuming you can do the mods yourself. Otherwise, you would also need to factor in the cost of having someone else do it for you. One could say if the watch didn't have the upgrades or look that you wanted in its OEM state, why did you buy it? Nowadays, watch brands like Seiko are including upgrades already, like sapphire crystal, ceramic bezel inserts, and textured dials on some of their more recently released models. Of course, you'll have to pay more for those, but at least you get the upgrades without having to alter the watch yourself. And reason number three is it's risky. Anytime you open up your watch, take out and replace parts, there is a risk something could go wrong. I've learned this the hard way over the years. I've scratched cases and case backs, had to order replacement parts because I messed up the first time, or had to go back and redo a modification that I wasn't quite happy with. If I'm looking for a pre-owned watch, I'd feel better if I knew it had not been opened up and worked on, particularly in the case of water resistance, which I mentioned. For example, I would be hesitant to take any of my modified watches into a pool, even though it's a 200-meter diver. There's a reason why you never hear of anyone modifying a more expensive watch like a Rolex or an Omega. Modifying watches is still a niche hobby for mainly fans of Seiko watches. Seiko has responded to the watch modding community by coming out with newer models that already have upgraded features and looks that before you could only get by modding the watch. When I first found out about it, I thought it was a cool hobby, and I'm sure it still is for many. Some of my favorite watches in my collections are ones that I've modified. But moving forward, since I might one day want to sell my watches, I think I'm just going to leave them in their OEM state. So for example, when I get the newer 38mm 5KX, I'm just going to leave the watch as is and maybe only upgrade the bracelet. That's going to be it for this video. If you found it interesting, feel free to leave a like, comment, or even consider subscribing. I of course wanted to thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in another video.